I carry guilt. Guilt alone. Guilt I carry because I was at the door. I was at the door and turned away. Said it was too crowded, so I turned my back and walked away. That's the guilt I carry because I turned my back and walked away. I felt like when you needed me most, I turned my back on you and said I couldn't stay. No one ever knew your life would end and so would fly away on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, you boarded your first class flight and flew away. Flew away, not looking back, because God was calling, saying, I finished the room and have a better place for you to stay. On Christmas Day, God had the best gift, and no matter how many gifts were underneath my tree, it didn't matter because you were no longer here to help me enjoy none of them. So as I approached the same door I had denied to cross the threshold once before, and peered in and saw you laying in the middle of the dance floor. Life drained from me as I watched life run from your head and settle on the floor. Watching you move from the club to the ambulance is the last time I kind of saw your life, like with a big jawbreaker mounted on your forehead that kind of made my head swell, and post hesitate I waited. Waited as a parent waits on their child to call to say I've made it to my destination safe. I waited. Waited as a faithful wife waits on her husband to live up to their wedding vows and get his act straight. I waited. Waited as Cleveland waited on LeBron to decide the next home of his pump fake. I waited. Waited to hear the state of your well-being. Receiving the news of your scheduled untimely death, it was an instant quicker than a TB dinner pain. Felt like my appendix had burst, and in fact that night, I had died too. I was literally a walking contradiction, in a coma yet conscious, functioning, going about my day like a normal person would, having conversation, yet mine was on another planet, nowhere close to this universe, laughing and joking, yet heart super empty and hugging and kissing and couldn't quite feel it. I was a real life ghost. In a state of depression, living in the capital of grief, I was having a recurring movie every night. I sleep, dreaming of that Christmas night and what I could have done to somehow change what was written in stone before time was time, and wind knew the blue, I was dreaming. Dreaming of how I could have rescued you. But no matter how hard I tried, the movie always ended the same. You died. And after watching the same screenplay that seemed to be on repeat of me trying to make your days longer so we can grow a little older, but always ending with my feelings being crushed because your strongest muscles stopped beating, it finally hit me. No matter what I would have done, you would have died that night. It was just your time to go. With insight came acceptance. Acceptance released the guilt, grief, and depression like the Vikings and the Patriots dropped most. I gave all of them the walking papers. Now with a renewed spirit coming out of my 3-month coma, I was ready to start my new beginning. And at that moment, God restarted my heart. And when my heart was restarted, it came with a gift. Because Christmas, I truly did miss. I received the gift of a pen, and with this pen, God took a piece of my cousin's breath and blew life into it. So now, when I write, it gives him the oxygen he needs to breathe. So every day, I write like my life depends on it. And I write every day because his life depends on it. Every day I write. If it's nothing more than A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, I will write. Because if I ever stop writing, he would stop breathing. And if he stops breathing, he would stop living. And if he stops living, that means he has died. And no one deserves to have one life and have to die twice. So I will write. He lives when I write, and I write because he lives in every adjective, in every verb, in every syllable of every word. He lives when I write. So in appreciation of a gift of a pen that my cousin just so happens to live in, I show gratitude. After every time I write, and after every time I recite, and after every time I step on stage and blast an open mic, I simply place 2 fingers on my lips, then blow him out a sweet kiss to say thank you for the new life you're living, and thank you for the new life you've given.
Put your hands together for J.A. That's a special dude right there, man. Y'all clap it up for J.A. Cheers. Couple cats said they want to come back. So, we gonna bring them back. Yeah, Lost Man got lost. Alright. So we got True Rose. True Rose said she want to come back and do this. Y'all put your hands together for True Rose.
J.A., I gotta lighten the load because every time you do that poem, I end up crying. So I'm doing what I call an erotic poem. It's called The Awakening. Caressing all over my body, he slowly grazes, causing my present mental state to slip into a sensual daze. And I am trying so hard to understand this unfamiliar feeling, but I am in such a haze. On my lips and all over my face, he gives me tender kisses, while whispering in my ear, it's you I've been missing. And ain't nothing I can say, cause all I can do is just feel and listen. With continued caressing and kissing all over my body, even the parts that I believe to be flawed and ugly, he tells me that in this physical state, I'm even more pretty. And the entry and re-entry, the entry and the rhythmic re-entry of his penis, feeling and fulfilling the walls of my vagina, creating sensations that I did not know existed. Creating this, spiritual bliss. Feelings and sensitivity that I thought were dead. It's like I'm floating on a feather, floating in this here bed. And all my extensions and dimensions are fluttering as I realize that self-control was something I once had. He has awakened with the strokes of his tongue everything all at once, till all I can remember to do and say is, Spread all over the sheets, the overflow just from me. And now he seems to have complete control over me. I can't stop shaking. This time I wasn't even faking. And now he has awakened everything in me.
All right.